Hey guys, this is Mandy from Light on Earth, where we talk about living light and knowing our true nature as light. So today I wanted to talk to you about minimalism or simplicity parenting, those of us who follow those ideals, and whether or not we choose to do Santa with our kids. So I grew up without Santa. I grew up in a pretty conservative Christian home, and my husband did as well. So it's easy for us not to do Santa with our kids. We also grew up without Halloween, and I especially really missed that as a kid. So I definitely do Halloween and trick-or-treating with my kids. However, Santa is something I've chosen to continue to leave out. And the more my beliefs broaden and open and expand, the more I feel good about that decision. So I know a lot of you maybe have already done Santa with your kids, and I know how hard it is to avoid doing, especially if your kids are in public school like mine. You don't want to be the parent who has the kid who tells all the other kids that there is no Santa. But I think if we're really careful about how we go about it, we can avoid that too. So the reason that we don't do Santa is because I feel like the story of Santa is so already set in our culture that if I decide to do Santa just sort of lightly, or if I'm like, oh, Santa brought you these gifts, and I say nothing to my kids about the fact that, oh, Santa only brings things if you're good and he makes the list, naughty or nice. The songs, the Christmas movies, talking to their kids, they're gonna get the whole story, the whole narrative of Santa anyway. And if they already believe in Santa, they're going to believe all of those extra things about it too. So I really do not want to tell my kids that material things will come to them if they do what they're told or if they're good people. Because that's not the case in life. Material things are often a curse, and material things that are really needed by some people who are poor don't come to them, even if they're really good people sometimes. Sometimes really deserving people are poor. And I want my kids to fully understand that. And the Santa thing is just confusing and counterproductive to myself teaching my kids that. So if you've already done Santa with your kids, or if your kids already believe in Santa, I would just make it a real point to tell them about the fact that that part about Santa is not, you don't believe that, and just make a real point that bad things happen to good people, and etc., etc. So also you could just try sponsoring a child, or giving gifts to like a sponsored family. I don't know exactly what they call them. You take a name off a Christmas tree and buy gifts for kids. I'd make a real point of doing that if I did Santa. So the other big reason I don't believe in doing Santa with my kids is that I feel like the magic of Christmas is in your kids' imagination. And even growing up with being told Santa is not real, Christmas definitely still had a magic to it. I did not feel like I was missing out on anything. I really enjoyed the season. And if you've ever gone to a theme park or anywhere as an adult that you haven't been to since a kid, you realize how everything as an adult is changed. And instead of noticing this magical experience, you notice the teenage worker who doesn't want to be there and is playing on their phone, or you notice all these things as an adult that as a kid you were just blind to. It was just this magic of everything. And so with Christmas, it's the same way. You don't need Santa. Like as an adults, we think we need to tell them the story and have this ruse going on that Santa's bringing these gifts that we really bought. And that's all effort we're putting in. And if we put the effort into Christmas or into our kids, then the magic's going to be there. Santa has nothing to do with magic, okay? It's just a story. It's not, he doesn't bring the magic to Christmas. You bring the magic to Christmas. Your child's imagination is the magic of Christmas. So sometimes I feel like if you're going to leave something out, it's easier, especially if you feel like you're going to be missing that something, it's easier to bring something else in. So something that I think is great to do during the holiday season with your kids, especially if you live in a northern climate, we're in Maine. So to me, the solstice is a really big deal. And that happens, I believe it's the 21st. And so that's going to be the shortest day of the year. And after that, the days will start to get longer. And so up here, it's very dark. It gets dark so early and it's cold. And so we enjoy the Christmas lights even more. And just talking about the solstice and how Christmas is about light. And the light is going to be returning to earth. And we're going to be closer to the sun again, and the days are going to be starting to get longer. And you could do a solstice party with your kids or make different sun decorations or something like that. And they're going to be learning about the earth, and they're going to be learning about nature. That's just one idea I have. Also, I have no problem with telling my kids, just making suggestions of the tooth fairy, like, oh, the tooth fairy's coming, or anything. My son even asked something about his stocking, and I said, so it just came out of my mouth, the Christmas fairy. So if you want to do that, if you don't want to tell your kids, I go to the store up the road and purchase these and wrap them when you're at school, you don't have to de-magic Christmas. But maybe Santa is not, I'm just saying Santa is not something that we can really control what the kids are told about or think about it. And I don't want to go into all these conspiracy theories about Santa. I think that people who have used Santa and told stories about Santa have had good intentions and everything. But I feel like it kind of plays into a lesson that we don't really want to teach our kids about materialism, a lesson that really needs to change if we're going to be, if we're going to have a world that's worth, in an environment that's worth living in the future. And if we're going to have homes that we enjoy living in with things that we enjoy having to use and not a ton of clutter and a ton of waste. And I feel like Santa is a little bit outdated now, so just something to consider. I don't like the idea of demonizing anything like that. So again, just be aware of the lessons your kids are learning. So do you do Santa with your kids? And what do you think about the points I had to say in this video? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Bye.